College is crazy. It's your home away from home, and you're there for like 4 to 6 years of your life. And I mean, college is great and all, and I totally see what people mean when they say that these are the best years of your life. I mean, who doesn't love going out with their friends on weekends or having infinite social opportunity? I mean, it's great, but it's a lot more than just a 4-year party. College is easily one of the most stressful and rigorous times of your life. And universities do really well at making sure that students have enough academic help. But what about personal? I have a proposal for Capital University. Capital University should allow students to have pets on campus without having to register as service animals. College is one of the most stressful times of your life. And animals are statistically proven to help with the physical and the mental health of people and students, more specifically. And even for the students who do try to register animals, it's often a lost cause. Students, faculty, and universities as a whole would benefit from this implementation. First of all, students would definitely benefit from this. And the results are threefold. Pet ownership promotes responsibility. I mean, when you own a pet, you're no longer just thinking about yourself. You have to think about another creature. You have to think about food, and you have to think about their needs. You have to think about saving money to do what you need to do for them. And you have to think about making time for the animal, walking the animal if it needs to be done, cleaning, maintenance, so on and so forth. Pet ownership also promotes physical well-being. Statistics show that owning pets such as dogs lowers your blood pressure, your triglyceride levels, and your cholesterol levels, which leads to a 30% decrease in risk of heart attack, and it has better cardiovascular health. So along with this, pet owners are 20% more active due to walking and playing with their animals. Pet ownership also reduces the stress and promotes mental health. Pet ownership promotes social skills and increases social life. College is all about meeting new people and making connections and living life while you're young. And what better way to increase your social life than through your animals? Researchers have found that nearly 40% of pet owners make friends more easily. And I mean, think about it. How many times have you been in, say, a classroom or a social setting where they use your pets as an icebreaker? I'm sure you couldn't even name all of the times on your 2 hands. Or think about it. Maybe you're out somewhere and you see someone with a pet. I'm sure if you haven't asked them about it, someone else has. It's such an easy conversation starter, and it's just as easy as taking your pets outside or anywhere. A common association with pet ownership is also decreased stress levels. Animals fill your basic needs of touch. Just giving and receiving affection from an animal can raise your serotonin levels and drop your cortisol levels. So this is in turn lowering your feelings of anxiety and raising your feelings of happiness and joy. Touching, stroking, hugging, overall, it just rapidly changes your chemical levels, and it can be instantaneous. Universities would also benefit from this implementation, because you see, not only would more students be coming to the university, but students would have a higher likelihood of staying at the university. If students are stressed or feel like they don't have the skills to live on their own, they're not going to want to stay. I've met so many people who, since coming to college, have told me that they either want to go home, or they miss home, or they want to transfer, so they're closer to home. And this is a really common theme. So that's where these pets will come in. They come in and they help you when you're feeling alone or stressed, and in turn, these students will be staying because they'll have a companion to help them through those emotions. I mean, even for me, about a month into my freshman year, I was feeling very stressed and very overwhelmed. And I mean, I'm no crazy cat lady, but I did have a cat at home who every time I was kind of upset or sad would come and comfort me. And not having her there anymore, it was like taking away like a child's blanket. So one day my dad threw my cat, put my cat in the back of the truck, and he drove an hour and a half from Cincinnati to Columbus so that way I could see my cat and kind of pull myself out of my funk. Freshmen are a really, really likely group to leave universities, and it's because, realistically, they have the least to lose. You see, they haven't been there that long, and a lot of their credits are more easy to transfer, whereas like some juniors and seniors, they're already taking their major specific classes, which aren't as transferable from university to university. Not to mention, they're used to living at home. And what do most people have at home that they don't have access to in college? Yeah, pets. Academic achievement would also increase amongst their students at universities. When students are less stressed and have stronger mental health, they're more likely to be motivated and want to succeed. And colleges want you to succeed as well. I mean, colleges care about their students' academics, and they also care about your tuition money. So they need you there, and they need you to do well. Because not only do they need you for attendance, but colleges, much like we are graded for our performance in classes, they are graded on their performance of their students. So how would this all pertain to Capital, and what would change? Well, at Capital right now, in order to have a pet live with you in campus housing, you have to register them as either a service animal or an emotional support animal. And this process is kind of hard because you have to go through disability services and you have to explain what your need is and why you need it. The application can even take months. I mean, I know someone personally who applied back in June and didn't even get the application process started until about December. When they ask you these follow-up questions, they're asking you more about your residence hall, the size and type of animal, and as well as if you have a roommate. And let me just tell you, if you have a roommate, you're probably going to get told no. So what happens for the students who don't have diagnosed problems? Because I mean, not everyone sees a therapist or has a clinical issue. Imagine if someone had depression, but it was never diagnosed, and they reached out to the university and they asked for a service animal, and then they got told no. What if this same person, after being told no, went to other resorts and they turned to alcoholism or even suicide? Diseases regarding mental health are often not found by running labs or tests, so it's important to listen, and when people reach out, let them. Because you can be depressed, anxious, or suicidal without ever seeing a doctor. So, what changes would need to be made? Well, I propose that Capital would allow their students to register animals to live in housing rather than as a service animal. So how you would do this, it's threefold. Students A would have to pay an extra deposit so that way their animals could live with them, and this would go towards any damages that might be done to the housing. You would also implement this by assigning pet owners to specific buildings or floors to avoid any allergies or accessibility challenges. You would think of it as a living community, per se. And to make sure the animals are being brought into the universities and the residence halls for good reason, you could even implement something such as this. If it's a physical need, have a doctor's note. And if it's a mental need, maybe require that student to go to counseling once a month in order to keep the animal on campus. Pets alone can't cure someone, and that's not what I'm trying to say here. But the companionship of a pet is guaranteed to help you feel just a little bit better. So as you can see, there's many benefits to companionship with pets, not only for students, but for the universities as a whole. Universities couldn't operate without their students. So let's put our students first, and let's do it 4 paws at a time.